Alrighty, well today I am going to make a new bowstring, Flemish twist string for one of my Schaefers over there, but I make a lot of my own bowstrings. I also buy some when I don't have the time to make them, but I've made them for those bows over there too. So I figured I'd do a little step-by-step walkthrough on how I make them and the process it takes. So today we're going to make a 16 strand D97 string. We're going to have a bundle of orange and a bundle of brown, and I'll walk you through the part of making the bundles, twisting them together, and then going on to serving them, making some silencers, and I'll probably make yarn wraps on the ends of this string since it's going on a recurve, so I can even show you how to do that too, and pretty much a complete string build from start to beginning. So stick with me here. So to start, I have this orange material tied off to this top nail right here, and this is just a homemade board. To start your bundle, what you're going to want to do is tie off, and we're going to take this entire roll. We're going to go around your first set of nails, so you're connected to this one. You're going to go around the one that is right next to it. Then you'll come all the way down the board and come down to these two nails at this end. You're going to go around just the first one, and then you have the rest of these nails all numbered based on the length of string you're trying to make. This will be a 56-inch string, so I have a nail right here for my number 56. I'm going to bring the string around that 56 nail, and then come back down to the second one at this end of the board. We're going to wrap it around this, come all the way back down the board, and then instead of going back around this, we're going to go around your next set, and you'll come around these two nails and then repeat the exact same process. And you're going to do that until you have, since this is a 16 strand string I'm going to be making, I'm going to do that 8 times. So then my first bundle is a set of 8 strands, and then I'll do the same thing for the brown. So then you have 8 strands for each color, which will make you a 16 strand bowstring. So I'm going to make this first bundle. I'll show you what it looks like on the board and how you cut it, and then we'll go from there and make the brown bundle and then go to the next step. Alright, so now we have 8 strands all on this board, and just one thing to note is on that 8th strand I came back up around my 8th set of nails, did the same thing, came all the way down around that nail, around here, and then to finish it, come all the way back up the board, and to finish that 8th one I came back around these first set of nails and looped it around this one to end. And now what you're going to want to do is you're going to take your knife, you're going to go right down this center line that I have on my board and put a perfect slice through all of those so that you can have this separated into one long bundle of strings. I'm going to see if I can do this on video, but pretty simple. You're just going to take your knife, you want some tension on the string so it doesn't slip, and then you're just going to do a nice cut right down the center of every strand. That way you can then come in and separate it off the board. That's now freed up. We don't need that anymore. And you got all your different length strands, which will make it so it tapers into the body of the string nice and evenly. And that is going to be your first bundle. So now what I'll do is I'll take this wax and I'll run a good layer of wax down the entire string so that all these individual strands are kind of sticking together and they're in one bundle of strings so that they don't separate or anything. And then it makes it, if you put wax on the ends, it makes it much easier to work with and to make your loops and make everything come together once you have your second bundle. So we will do that next. All right, so now that we got this bundle of strings all made up, like I said, you want to take your wax. This is like a nice thick bowstring wax, but it's like more meant for building strings. You're just going to take it. I like to put it on top, put my thumb on top of the actual wax, and then just start running strips down either side of the string and really get it all waxed up. Some of these strings will come with more or less wax on them. This one's kind of has a medium amount, but do one end, flip that away, and then start running down this other end. As you can see how they're all separated right now, we want them all together so that it's one sort of cohesive bundle. And that wax will, you want wax on your string anyway, but it'll also make it much easier to work with, and you're not having strands come undone or anything. And then at the end of the process, you have a nice waxed up string. So now instead of having a bunch of strands all a mess, you have one nice bundle of waxed up strings. So now we're going to repeat this exact same process with the brown string material, and I'm not going to show any of that because it's the exact same process, but then after that I will show you how we start twisting these two separate bundles up to each other. Alright, so now we have our orange bundle that you watched me make all done, and then I just finished up the brown bundle all waxed up and ready to go. So now what we want to do is start turning these in to one bundle, I guess, of strings. So you're going to want to start on the ends and make sure you have them both perfectly lined up. And then what I like to do is start twisting them up 7 inches down from the ends. You can do more, you can do less. I found that 7 to 8 is usually where I like to start. So I will, on my board I know each of these are 1 inch from each other, so I'll just measure 7 inches, which puts me right there. And then one thing I actually have to go grab is a binder clip, so I'll be right back. So now I pinched the bundles off together with a binder clip, just a little tiny one, and this is where I will start making my Flemish twist string. So since this is a recurve, this is gonna be your first loop, and I'll make this be my top loop. So I'm gonna wanna make this a little longer since it's going on a recurve and they have wider limbs. You want your top loop to be the bigger of the two. so that it can slide up and down the limb when you're stringing and unstringing your bow. But so what you want to do to start this is you're going to take your bundle and you're going to twist them away from yourself. And then to make the Flemish twist, you want to twist away, but then twist the bundle back towards yourself. So then you'll take this one, twist away, and then rotate, twist back, twist away, twist back. And you're starting to make your twists together. So twist away, twist back, twist away, twist back. So as you can see, we're working our way down the string, and like I said, since this is going to be my top loop, I want to go up this probably, I don't know, 3.5, maybe 4 inches. So that ends up being, once I twist it back down to make my first loop, it ends up being like a 2-inch loop, so that it has plenty of room to slide up and down that top limb when I'm stringing and unstringing my bow. So I'm going to keep working my way down the string, and then once I'm ready to make it into a loop, I'll come back and show you how we do that. So now that I have my section here that should be long enough for a top loop, I'm going to take the alligator clip off, make sure my bundles are separated. Then you're just going to fold this down. Until you have a loop. And then you're going to take those 2 tag ends that you were just making your loop out of, and you're going to want to wax those in and form them into the main bundles of each color. So now that those are waxed into the actual, what will be the main body of the string, you're gonna do the same thing we were just doing, which is to twist away from yourself with each bundle, and then twist back towards yourself. Twist away, twist back, twist away, and twist back. And so what this will start doing is combining those 2 separate bundles into one. And you want to do that down the string. Make sure you keep those bundles separated so you aren't getting all twisted up. And you want to keep doing that all the way down until you get beyond these tag ends, the tapered tag ends. You want to, I like to go like an inch or so beyond those. And then you're going to do that. And once you're beyond them, that's when you'll switch to your other end and start making your loop on that end. So I'm going to keep going until I'm beyond that, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. All right. right, so now that I am beyond my tag ends, you have your first top loop. And then I put an alligator clip, binder clip, whatever you call them, on this. So now what I'm going to do before I start the bottom loop on this end, I'm going to put this loop on a nail. I'm going to do it in my workshop, but I'm going to put it on a nail. I'm going to stretch out this string and hold these two ends together and put some decent bit of tension on it. And before you start this loop, you're going to want to put, you were just twisting up this string a bunch, so now you have a bunch of twists in it, making this top loop. So what you want to do now is put back twist into these bundles, and what that'll do is when you go to finally twist up your string, if you don't put back twist in it, you're going to end up having two bundles that are all twisted up like this, and then trying to blend those into one string will just create a non-round, really honestly ugly string that won't be nice. So putting back twist in it is you're taking out all this twist that you have accumulated building this end, and you're making it, and then you're gonna take out all the twists and then add even more twists in the opposite direction. So then when you're making this end, you already have all those twists into count. So when you're finally finished making this end, instead of having two separate bundles that are all twisted up, they'll be actually laying flat towards one another. So then when you go and twist your final string up, they will blend together and form one perfectly round string, instead of having two already round strings that are trying to form into one, if that makes any sense. But it's called back twist. You can look it up and see. It can be all different amounts that you put in to each strand based on how tight you make your loops, how long of a string you're making, how short of a string you're making. There's a bunch of different ways to that it can alter how much back twist you need to put in. As you make your strings, you'll find out what works for you. It can be anywhere from 15, 20, even up towards 30, or I don't, maybe more. I know the number that works for me, but you'll find it out. But you definitely want to put back twist in your string if you want to make it so that it's a nice round string. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll start making this next side. All right, so I just added my back twist, and now you can see this string isn't all twisted up like it was before. And so we have our loop, we still have the binder clip on this end, and then what I did is I measured to know where I want to start this second loop. Since this is going to be a 56-inch string, I actually measured a little under like 54 3/4 inches down the string, and that's where I'm going to start my second loop, because, or it's at, yeah, 54 3/4 inch down the string, because that's a little more than an inch less than what the final length I want this string to be is. But once you stretch this string, you're going to gain more length. So if you made this a 56-inch string now, by the time you stretch it all in, it's going to end up being way too long for the bow you're making it for. So you want to make it shorter, because then when you stretch this, you're going to gain length, and then it ends up being a perfect length for what you need it. Generally, I do between an inch or an inch and a quarter less, and that usually makes it so it's pretty perfect. And then you can always fine tune with adding twists or taking out twists to make it absolutely perfect for what you need for your bow and brace height and everything. But now that we have this pinched off and ready to go, we're going to make our second twist, which is the exact same process as the first part. So I'll do that off camera, and then I will show you how we twist it up and how it turns out. So one thing I forgot to mention, the only difference, this is the bottom loop that I've just started twisting back down, but I said it's the exact same process, which it is, but the only difference is instead of making a bigger loop like we did for the top loop. This one can be smaller because it's the bottom loop, and this one doesn't have to slide up and down the limb like the top loop does when you're stringing and unstringing the bow. So this one you can make smaller than that top one, so you don't have to go up as high before you bring the loop down to make the actual loop. You don't have to make as many twists going up the string, but that's the only difference. So I'm going to keep working on this one, and then I'll show you how we twist it up once I am beyond the tag ends. All right, so now we have our top loop done and our bottom loop done. We got the binder clips on either end, and as you can see, we have two fairly flat bundles, separate bundles of strings. Now that's what the back twist does. Now if these weren't, if we never did put back twists in them, I'll just show you. This one of these would be, or both of these would be already twisted up like this, and then trying to twist those together will not make a round string. You're gonna have two separate round strings literally just wrapping themselves around each other. But that back twist that we put in made it so that we have flat bundles, which when we, as you can see, I just twisted that up, but these are nice and flat. So when we go to twist this up, which we're going to do now, each bundle will join together and form one round bundle, which will make a nice round string, a good shooting string, a quieter string, and just a much more pleasant to look at string too. So we're gonna go put one end on a nail, walk back with your other end, keep some tension on the string, and we're gonna just twist this up. I'll be twisting this counterclockwise to put the twists in it, and as I go, I'll kind of run my hands back and down from back and forth on the string to make sure it's going together evenly, and then we'll check our length. Ideally we should be an inch or maybe a little more below that, so we should be around 54 3/4, 55 inches, and then this string will have to stretch out. So I'll show you what that looks like. All right, so now I have this string stretched out. I'm holding it. The top loop is connected to a nail that's in my workbench, and then I'm holding this bottom loop right here, so I can take off the binder clip that I have up here, and then take off this binder clip that I had up on the top loop. And now, keeping tension on the string, I'm going to start putting twists in it counterclockwise. And as I do that, you'll see this string is starting to twist together into one, but I'll put some twists in it, and then I'll apply some tension pull on it so it's tightening up and evening out. And then I like to run my thumb and pointer finger up and down the string, making sure it's all coming together evenly, and so that it's not twisting up more in one section than the other, and making sure it's flattened out and all the wax that I put on it is kind of evenly distributed. And then as I do that, I'll put some more twists in it. Give it a pull, put some tension on it, and then just keep repeating the process until I have the amount of twists in it that I want to start with. And then, like I said, this should be shorter than my desired length, but we're gonna have to stretch this string out, and then after you stretch it out, you can go back and fine-tune the amount of twists you need in it, or maybe take a few twists out of it, put a few more twists in it, and then as you shoot it too, it'll keep stretching out for a little bit, but you'll get the majority of your stretch out as you let it stretch out right after it's made. But this is looking very good. It's nice and round. It doesn't look like you had two separate bundles that are just trying to twist into each other. They're joining together very nicely. It's a nice round, good looking string. And as you're stretching this out, it'll all tighten up even more and look even more round and neater and everything. But that is pretty much start to finish how you make a Flemish twist bowstring. So then to stretch this out, if you have a string stretcher, that's obviously the most ideal way. Or you can put it on your bow that you're planning to put it on and let it stretch out on that. And as it stretches, you can unstring it some and put a few more twists in it if you need it. And that's another good way to stretch it. It takes longer and you'll still have more stretching to do as you shoot it in, but that's another good way. Or another way that I found, if you don't have a string stretcher and you want to get a lot of the stretch out of it as quick as possible, what I use is, I thought I had it right here. That's right here. Is one of these heavy duty good ratchet straps, and I will hook one end of the ratchet strap to a post and run it through one of my loops, and then put my other loop on a fixed post, so like a big round nail or something, and I'll tighten it and let it stretch out like that too, which is a really good way to do it if you don't have a string stretcher. But yeah, so then after it's all stretched out, then you can then go ahead, and I probably won't put it in this video, I might make a separate video, but you can serve it up. This is a can't remember honestly, I think it's a bear paw serving jig, and then I like to serve it up with, this is a BCY power grip. It's a 0.21 serving size, so I'll serve it up with that. But other than that, that's pretty much from start to finish how you make a Flemish twist bowstring. Try to get you in some better lighting. You have your bigger top loop, your smaller bottom loop. You'll have some, this one isn't too bad, but sometimes you'll have some tag ends sticking out, which you can go back and trim up just to clean it up. They don't really hurt anything, but that is the process that I do to make a Flemish twist bowstring. So I appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully that was clear enough instructions, but you can get a jig. You can make your own. I made this years ago. You can buy one off of Three Rivers or any of the other traditional archery stores. And other than that, all you need is some good bow making string wax. I like this bear paw stuff. You need your serving jig that I just showed you, your string material, and that's pretty much about it. Once you invest in those things, you can make your bowstrings whenever you want. Make them all different colors, and it's pretty fun to do. Sometimes, like I said, I'll still buy strings. I like buying strings off of ready-made strings when I'm not making my own. They make probably the best bowstring Flemish bowstring you'll ever shoot, but it's a fun thing to do if you have the time to do it yourself too. So I appreciate you guys watching, and I might do a serving video next once I get this all stretched out, but that's going to end this video for now. So thanks for watching.